15 mind-blowing facts about Japan, the most unique country in Asia travel documentary. Number 1. The sun rises here first, and the future is falling fast. You know what's wild? Japan is the first country to see the sun rise. The first. That's why it's called Nippon, the freakin' origin of the sun. Sounds majestic, right? Like a place where every morning is a fresh start, full of hope, sushi, and cherry blossoms. But hold up, just because the sun hits them first doesn't mean they're leading the race. Spoiler alert, they're sprinting into a brick wall. Japan sits on the edge of the Eurasian continent, clutching 6,800 islands like a hoarder who refuses to let go of their childhood Pokemon cards. But here's the kicker, 97% of the country's landmass is just 4 islands. 4. The rest? Decorative accessories. Japan's basically the IKEA of geography, looks huge in the catalog, but it's just compact genius with emotional damage included. And don't even get me started on their infrastructure. Bullet trains that make your country's subway system look like it was built by blind raccoons. Mount Fuji, majestic, yes, but also an overachieving volcano just waiting to remind everyone it still exists. Oh, and the vending machines? They sell everything from hot meals to underwear. Underwear. Because why not solve your midlife crisis and dinner plans at the same time? But let's talk about what nobody wants to say out loud. Japan is growing old. Fast. Nearly 30% of its population is over 65. That's not a retirement party, that's a slow-motion societal collapse. You think your grandma's Facebook updates are outdated? Japan's demographic chart looks like a countdown to extinction. And guess what? Anime won't save them. Cosplay can't balance a labor shortage. You can't hug a waifu pillow and expect GDP to rise. It's like trying to solve a house fire with origami. Beautiful, yes, but utterly useless. Every tourist falls in love with Japan's seasons. Spring is a cherry blossom Instagram fest. Summer has fireworks that could make your 4th of July cry in the corner. But while you're out there sipping matcha and gasping at kimonos, Japan is silently bleeding its future into adult diapers and empty classrooms. So yes, the sun does rise here first. But what happens next? Silence. Shrinking. Struggle. Let that sink in before you book your next soul-searching trip. Number 2. Modern Japanese women. Not your cute, quiet, cartoon crush. Still out here fantasizing about some shy Japanese girl sipping matcha under cherry blossoms, waiting for a foreign prince with a passport and a half-decent jawline? Wake the hell up. This isn't your anime. This is real life. And modern Japanese women? They're not your pixelated waifus with squeaky voices and no opinions. They're bosses. Straight-up wolves in Gucci heels. Over 70% of working-age Japanese women have real, stable jobs. We're talking entrepreneurs, engineers, executives, not side characters in your fantasy dating sim. They're not here to giggle at your jokes or ask you how to use an iPhone. They're running their own companies, investing in stocks, traveling solo across Europe, and building empires while your PlayStation loads. They don't need you. Period. And when they do want someone, newsflash, they're not exactly lining up for the emotionally constipated suit-wearing robots that forgot their own wedding anniversary. Japanese men, respect to some, but many are emotionally unavailable black holes. Say I love you? Ha. They'd rather wrestle a bear than express affection. Now let me ask you something uncomfortable. Why do over 7,000 Japanese women marry foreigners every single year? Not because of looks. Not because of money. It's because someone actually listened to them. Someone remembered their damn birthday. Someone talked to them like they were human beings, not household appliances that fold laundry. So before you beat yourself up thinking you've got no game, maybe realize you just need to show up as a decent person. That's it. Not a savior. Not a samurai. Just a man who treats her like she matters. Meanwhile, the world's out here swiping, and you're still stuck fantasizing about animated girls who say senpai when you microwave noodles at 2 a.m. Grow up. Real women are building lives while you build Minecraft castles. Modern Japanese women are the future, independent, intelligent, and done settling. They're not chasing validation. They're choosing value. And if you want to know how to actually connect with one, drop a 2 in the comments and we'll expose the real blueprint. No filters, no fluff, just straight up facts. Because the game has changed. And if you're still playing 1999 rules, you're already losing. Number 3, where crime took a permanent nap, and shame runs the streets. Let me tell you something outrageous. In Japan, you can drop your wallet on a park bench, come back 3 hours later, and guess what? It's still there. Cash. Cards. That crumpled receipt from your failed Tinder date. Untouched. Try that in your hometown. You'll be lucky if the bench is still there. This isn't a fairy tale. This is Tokyo, the most populated city on the damn planet, and somehow, it's safer than your sleepy suburban Walmart parking lot on a Sunday afternoon. Think about that. Tokyo has 37 million people packed tighter than your excuses, and yet crime barely exists. Meanwhile, Chad in aisle 6 is shoplifting steak and Axe body spray like it's an Olympic sport. But here's what you really need to understand. Japan didn't achieve this by hugging criminals into submission. No. Japan weaponized shame. That's right, pure, soul-crushing, ancestral-level shame. In Japan, if you screw up, your parents feel it. Your boss feels it. Your ancestors wake up in the afterlife just to say, "You fool." Even your family dog looks at you differently. It's like a full-scale emotional earthquake every time someone messes up. And unlike in the West, where people film crimes for TikTok clout, in Japan, crime is a full-blown societal embarrassment. It's not just you did wrong. It's you shamed the group. And in a culture where community matters more than clout, that fear works. No lectures. No Instagram apologies. Just silent, crushing disappointment from everyone you've ever known. This is why even toddlers ride trains alone. At 2 a.m. Safely. Let me repeat that, toddlers. On trains. Meanwhile, you won't even let your 13-year-old take out the trash after dark. And don't be fooled, Japan isn't perfect. It's not a utopia. But when it comes to public safety, they cracked the code. Fear of dishonor beats fear of jail. Every time. So the next time you brag about how free your country is while locking your doors like you're hiding from the purge, remember this: freedom without discipline is just chaos in disguise. Japan didn't nap on crime. It straight up put crime in a chokehold and made it apologize to the ancestors. Let that sink in. Number 4. Instant noodles. The real national treasure you're too basic to respect. Yeah, sushi's great. Fancy. Beautiful. But let's stop pretending that's what most people are eating at 2 a.m. when life's falling apart and their bank account looks like a horror movie. You know what saved more lives than therapy, minimum wage jobs, and toxic relationships combined? Instant. Freakin' noodles. Invented in 1958 by the absolute legend Momofuku Ando, may his soul be forever slurping in peace, instant noodles are Japan's unsung hero. Forget Mount Fuji. Forget anime. This guy handed the world salvation in a styrofoam cup. And what did we do? We disrespected it. You overboil it, toss in that sad sodium bomb called chicken flavor, and think you've tasted the culture? Get real. In Japan, instant noodles aren't a joke. They're an obsession. There's a museum. A literal shrine to this glorious, MSG-laced miracle. You walk in like a broke college kid, but you leave enlightened. They've got flavors that'll slap your taste buds into another tax bracket. Curry, seafood, spicy miso, and yes, horse meat. That's right. Horse meat. Ramen. You're out here judging it, but I've seen you eat gas station burritos with less hesitation than a raccoon in a dumpster. This ain't your limp, sad, top ramen situation. In Japan, instant noodles are edible art. You can custom build your own cup. Pick the broth, the toppings, the spice level, like you're designing a car for your tongue. Meanwhile, you're still microwaving your sad little packet with 2 inches of water, wondering why your soul feels empty. Let's be honest, if your meal prep consists of scrolling TikTok while boiling water, Japan already beat you at the noodle game. And the best part? They're not ashamed of it. There's pride in instant noodles. There's culture. Meanwhile, you're over there, eating yours in secret like it's a crime against fitness. So here's the question. Are you ready to grow a pair and try horse meat ramen? Or are you just gonna keep pretending like chicken flavor is peak culinary ambition? Drop a 7 in the comments if you've got the guts to taste the truth. Because over here, it's not just noodles. It's a legacy. Number 5, geishas. They're not escorts, you ignorant internet zombie. Let's get one thing straight right now, and I'm saying this louder than your ex at a karaoke breakup. Geishas are not escorts. Stop watching one Hollywood movie and thinking you've unlocked Japanese culture. Just because someone wore white makeup and bowed politely doesn't mean they're there to flirt, feed your ego, or anything else your overcooked imagination cooked up. Geishas are walking, breathing masterpieces. These women are trained assassins in the arts of conversation, classical music, dance, and pure elegance. They can play a shamisen like it's part of their soul, recite poetry you don't deserve to hear, and hold a tea ceremony that'll make your ADHD brain sit still for 10 damn minutes. That's power. That's discipline. That's not your anime fantasy girl. And let's drop this next bomb while you sip your overpriced matcha frappuccino. The original geishas were men. Yeah, you heard me. Men. Back in the day, these dudes wore the wigs, the makeup, the whole elegant aesthetic, and they were entertainers for Japan's elite. So next time you roll your eyes at a geisha, just know, you're disrespecting a centuries-old tradition that started with guys fancier than your entire wardrobe. Becoming a geisha today? It's not some cute hobby. It's years of hardcore training, daily discipline, and cultural weight you couldn't carry with both hands and a forklift. They sacrifice everything to become symbols of grace, control, and tradition. And you're over here Googling "do geishas date foreigners?" Like an absolute clown. You don't deserve a geisha. You barely deserve chopsticks. Here's the worst part. Most people outside Japan still reduce geishas to side characters in some romanticized fantasy drama. The ignorance is global. And it's offensive. These women are cultural guardians, not side pieces. They preserve Japanese identity while the rest of the world drowns in TikTok trends and microwave morals. So next time you see a geisha, drop the dumb assumptions. Stand up. Show some damn respect. Drop a 5 in the comments if you're done with the geisha slander and ready to treat culture like it's more than cosplay. Number 6. In Japan, apologizing means bowing. Or going full Bruce Willis. Let me slap this into your brain. In Japan, saying sorry isn't some half-hearted "my bad" while texting in lowercase. Apologizing is a full-blown, body-contorting, soul-crushing ritual. You mess up in Japan? You don't just say it. You show it. With your spine, your pride, and sometimes, your hair. Let's break it down like you need flashcards. A slight 15 degrees bow? That's oops, my bad. 45 degrees? That's I messed up. Deeply. 90 degrees? That's I've dishonored my bloodline, my boss, and the ancestors I never met. But if it's real serious, like career-ending, public scandal, disgrace your sensei level, they go nuclear. They shave their damn heads. Not just samurai. Not monks. We're talking pop stars, CEOs, YouTubers. A Japanese idol once shaved her head, on camera, because she got caught dating. Not cheating. Dating. Imagine your girl buzzing her scalp just for holding your hand in public. Meanwhile, you're over here ghosting 3 people and calling it self-care. In Japan, shame isn't just a feeling. It's a cultural body slam. You screw up, the entire system turns its head. Your family? Disappointed. Your co-workers? Silently judging. Your goldfish? Doesn't even make eye contact. And don't roll your eyes and say, that's dramatic. No. That's accountability on steroids. In the West, we apologize with a TikTok "hey guys" pleading face video and call it closure. In Japan, you're bowing in the rain while your soul evaporates into the pavement. Here's what nobody wants to admit: you'd never survive it. You can't even apologize without a "but" at the end. I'm sorry, but you were acting crazy. I'm sorry, but I was drunk. No. In Japan, an apology without full submission is just noise. Either show regret, or shut your mouth. So next time you screw up, really screw up, ask yourself, would you bow? Would you kneel? Would you buzz it all off and face the world like a man? Or are you still dodging texts because you're working on yourself? Drop a 6 in the comments if you've ever had to humble yourself so hard it hurt, or want more wild stories of Japanese shame done right. Number 7. Tech gods of the East, and you're still charging your phone at 3% like a caveman. Let's get this straight, Japan isn't advanced. That word's too weak. Japan is what happens when a nation collectively decides, yeah, let's live in the damn future, while the rest of the world is still figuring out how to restart the router. You think you're tech-savvy because your iPhone takes blurry night photos? Cute. Japan built Fugaku, the world's fastest supercomputer, just to flex. And they weren't doing it to impress you. They were busy solving cancer simulations and predicting pandemics while you were rage-quitting Netflix because it wouldn't load in HD. PlayStation? Japanese. Toyota? Japanese. That robot dog your kid begged for at Christmas that now patrols Tokyo train stations? Also Japanese. They've got toilets that can diagnose your health, open automatically, and play waterfall sounds to cover the awkwardness of being human. Meanwhile, you're still clogging public restrooms with those hand-cranked soap dispensers like it's 1996. Sony Walkman? Yeah, that wasn't just a music player, it was Japan telling the world, portable audio? We invented that. You were dancing in your backyard with cassette tapes because Japan made it possible. The only thing you've invented lately is a new excuse to avoid answering emails. They've got robots serving ramen. Let me say that again. Arobots. Esiarving. Amen. And you're over here, proud because your local McDonald's now has a self-checkout screen that still freezes when someone orders a milkshake. Japan's vending machines have more functionality than your last 3 smartphones combined. Hot meals, umbrellas, fresh eggs, you name it. Some of them even apologize if they run out. When was the last time your fridge said sorry? Here's the truth you're too embarrassed to admit: you're not behind. You're prehistoric. While Japan is quietly engineering AI to care for its elderly, the West is arguing about whether AI can write a passable term paper. One country is curing loneliness with tech, the other is swiping through dating apps like it's a full-time job. You want to be impressed? Try being inspired, or better yet, humbled. You're not in the same league. Japan isn't just ahead, they're out of sight. So yeah, next time you're whining about your Bluetooth headphones not syncing, remember, Japan sent a robot to space to tweet. You can't even send a text without autocorrect ruining your dignity. Drop a 7 in the comments if you're tired of being left in the digital dust and want to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Number 8. You can literally rent a family member, and honestly you might need to. Let me hit you with a reality check so hard it echoes in your soul. In Japan, you can rent a family member. Not just a clown for your kid's birthday. I'm talking full-blown emotional stand-ins. A fake boyfriend to impress your judgmental mom. A pretend grandma who cries at your wedding like she actually helped raise you. This isn't a quirky subplot in a K-drama, this is real life. And before you laugh, pause. Because here's the punch in the gut: they're not doing this for fun. They're doing it because loneliness in Japan is a full-blown socially accepted epidemic. People aren't renting fake families because they're lazy. They're doing it because they've got no one. And you wanna giggle? While they're paying strangers to say, "I'm proud of you," you're ignoring texts from your real mom because you're too emotionally drained. You think it's weird? Cool. But let's be honest, you've ghosted people you once said forever to. You can't even commit to dinner plans, let alone human connection. Meanwhile, in Japan, they've industrialized emotional labor. These actors will cry on cue, recall memories that never happened, and play the role of someone who gives a damn, better than your actual relatives. You rent a dad? He'll show up in a suit, give life advice, shake your hand like you just closed a deal with destiny. A fake daughter? She'll post cute photos with you on social media and call you Papa in public. You think it's a gimmick? They're out here selling companionship like it's bottled water. And guess what? People are buying. Because in a world this cold, sometimes fake love feels warmer than the real rejection. You ever been so emotionally starved that you paid a stranger just to say, "I'm proud of you"? No? Then sit down. Because that's not weird, that's tragic genius. Japan didn't create this out of thin air. The rest of the world just hasn't caught up to admitting we're lonely too. So next time you judge, ask yourself this: would you rather cry alone? Or have someone you paid hold your hand and tell you matter? Drop an 8 in the comments if you've ever wanted to rent someone who actually listens, because clearly, your group chat isn't cutting it. Number 9. 20,000 love hotels? Yeah, Japan said, hide your shame elsewhere. Alright, let's rip the band-aid off. Japan has over 20,000 love hotels. 20,000. That's more than Starbucks, more than McDonald's, more than your fake wholesome dating apps have success stories. You thought Tinder was a revolution? Japan been doing the quickie game since cassette tapes were cool. And don't you dare roll your eyes like you're above it. You've lied to your friends just to sneak in a midnight hookup with someone you met on a Tuesday and forgot by Friday. Japan? They just built an empire around it. $40 billion a year. That's double the size of the anime industry. Double. So go ahead, clutch your pearls. But clearly, the only cartoon fantasy happening here is the one in your head where you pretend you're too classy for a Hello Kitty-themed bed. Yes, that exists. Along with spaceship rooms, jungle rooms, haunted rooms, even prison roleplay suites. Because apparently, nothing screams "I love you" like fake incarceration and handcuffs you didn't buy at Walmart. But here's the part that should really knock the wind out of your judgment. No reception. No awkward small talk. No walk of shame. Just a touchscreen menu and an hourly rate. Boom. Done. Japan doesn't pretend. They give the people what they want, then let them walk out like it never happened. Meanwhile, you're still making excuses to your neighbor about why your cousin keeps showing up after midnight wearing cologne and no socks. And don't act like you wouldn't use it. You've turned your car into a motel more times than you'll admit. Japan just made it clean, legal, and themed. While you're out here faking intimacy for validation, they're making it an art form, with mood lighting, privacy walls, and vibrating beds that probably understand your love language better than your last 3 exes combined. This isn't about lust. It's about owning desire without shame. Something the rest of us are still too scared to admit we want. So don't blush. Don't judge. Just be honest with yourself for once. Drop a 9 in the comments if you've ever fantasized about a Hello Kitty dungeon. Or at least want to know how it feels to check into a fantasy without anyone judging you for it. Number 10. The island where women are banned. Japan's No Girls Allowed Club. Okay, let me just get this straight. There's an island in Japan called Okanishima where women have been banned for over 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Imagine a place so stuck in its own ancient dusty rulebook that it literally says, "Sorry ladies, you're not invited." No electricity, no tourists, no talking about what happens there, like some secret society straight out of a bad thriller. Sounds like a cult? Oh, it absolutely is, just a cult disguised as tradition. But don't get all, "Oh, it's cultural, respect the history" on me. No. This isn't about respect. It's about exclusion. It's about clinging to some archaic power trip where men get to decide who belongs and who doesn't. Here's the real kicker. This island has been off-limits to women for a millennium while the rest of the world moved on. Meanwhile, somewhere else women are running countries, launching rockets, and getting CEO paychecks. But on this island? Nope. Still stuck in the no women allowed bubble. Let's be honest, this is exactly the kind of nonsense that makes you want to scream, "Grow the hell up, Japan." You want progress? How about starting by unbanning half the population from an entire island? And don't give me that it's sacred line. Sacred? More like scared. Scared of women. Scared of change. Scared of reality. Like that one guy who still wears cargo shorts and socks with sandals because it's tradition. Sorry dude, it's just ugly. But wait, there's more. No electricity, no tourists, and no talking about what happens there. Translation? It's a damn ghost town with rules so secretive, even the locals won't spill. Sounds less like a cultural gem and more like the setting of a Japanese horror movie where the spirits are pissed off because no one respects women. Meanwhile, back in the real world, women are out here juggling careers, families, and still breaking glass ceilings, while this island's stuck in a time warp that makes your grandma's Facebook feed look cutting edge. So what's the takeaway? Japan, you gotta stop romanticizing your weird, outdated traditions that look like a bad episode of Survivor, Patriarchy Edition. If you want respect, start by respecting the people you've been excluding for 1,000 years. And for the rest of us? Let's call it what it is, a giant middle finger to progress disguised as a sacred island. Drop a 10 in the comments if you're as baffled as I am, or if you want me to dive into the creepy, weird secrets this island hides behind its no women allowed sign. Number 11. 27,000 hot springs. And you're naked. No exceptions. Here's the deal. Japan has roughly 27,000 onsens, hot springs that are everywhere. In cities, forests, mountains, you name it. Sounds dreamy, right? Hot water, relaxing vibes, nature all around. But hold up. There's a catch that's gonna make your brain freeze. You bathe completely naked. No swimsuits. No towels wrapped around your waist. Nope. Just you, your birthday suit, and a bunch of strangers doing the exact same thing. And before you get all ew gross. Guess what? That's the whole point. Japanese culture is built on a foundation of zero shame about the human body. It's about acceptance, purity, and yeah, a hell of a lot of awkward staring if you're not used to it. But here's where I get mad, because if you think you can just jump in without scrubbing yourself clean, you're dead wrong. They expect you to scrub every inch of your body, including between your toes, before stepping into the onsen. Because nobody wants your gross city sweat floating around in their sacred hot tub. Imagine the mental gymnastics you have to do, stripping naked in front of strangers, getting clean while avoiding eye contact, and then sinking into steaming water where every wrinkle and cellulite gets spotlighted like you're on some weird body-shaming reality show. Yet somehow, the Japanese don't lose their minds. They embrace it. They chill. They respect the silence. Meanwhile, back home, we're over here like, can I get a swimsuit? Maybe some cover-up. And in Japan, it's like, nope. Strip it off. Now. And scrub. It's brutal, but also kind of beautiful in its honesty. And don't even try to fake confidence if you're out of shape or have a weird birthmark. Spoiler, everyone's naked and weird in their own way. So you might as well get over yourself. It's a lesson in humility, or as I like to call it, the Get Over Your Ego Onsen Bootcamp. So here's my challenge. If you want to experience real Japan, you gotta embrace the naked truth, literally. You gotta strip down, scrub up, and face your insecurities head-on. Because that's the only way to truly soak in the culture. Drop a 11 in the comments if you're brave enough to take the plunge naked. And if you're not? Well, that's just pure American awkwardness talking. Alright, buckle up because number 12, mountains, castles, volcanoes, and black eggs is about to shatter whatever cheesy romanticized image you have of Japan. Climb Mount Fuji to cleanse your soul? Wander Kyoto's bamboo forests for peace? Eat volcanic eggs that supposedly add 7 years to your life? Oh, you sweet, naive fool. Let me tell you exactly what's going on behind those Instagram-filtered postcards. Mount Fuji? Yeah, it's beautiful, until you're suffering at 12,000 feet with zero oxygen and blisters on your feet. People don't talk about the fact that climbing Fuji is a legit torture test disguised as a spiritual journey. You'll be crammed with thousands of other sweaty tourists, gasping for air like a fish out of water, battling altitude sickness while your Instagram feed thinks you're having a majestic moment. Spoiler alert, your soul might not get cleansed, but your patience sure will be tested. Kyoto's bamboo forests? Sure, they're serene, until you're swatting at mosquitoes bigger than your handbag. You imagine peaceful strolls, right? Nope. More like frantically waving your arms trying not to become a human pincushion for bugs that seem to have evolved just to ruin your zen. Bamboo may be tall and elegant, but the bugs? They are merciless little demons with wings. And then there's the black eggs, volcanic eggs that supposedly add 7 years to your life. Let's get real. You eat these sulfur-smelling pitch-black eggs boiled in hot volcanic springs, and suddenly you're supposed to live longer? I hate to break it to you, but if eating eggs could extend your life, I'd be immortal by now after my 3 breakfasts every day. The truth? Those black eggs taste like burnt rubber mixed with regret. But hey, if you want to die with a cool story, go for it. Yeah, I ate those weird black eggs in Japan. I lived longer. Or maybe you just survived some food poisoning. Here's the deal. Japan's mountains, castles, and volcanoes aren't just pretty backdrops. They're brutal, unforgiving, and filled with quirks nobody bothers to sugarcoat. The castles? Stunning, yes, but good luck trying to navigate steep wooden stairs built before your great-grandparents' time without pulling a muscle. So next time someone tries to sell you that postcard-perfect version of Japan, remind them it's also a sweaty, bug-bitten, sulfur-smelling adventure. And if you survive, you earn your "I climbed Fuji and live to tell the tale" badge of honor. If you want me to spill more brutal truths about Japan's so-called wonders, drop a 12 in the comments. Otherwise, keep dreaming about those cherry blossoms and magical black eggs while I'm over here living in reality. Alright, buckle up, because number 13, 300,000 festivals a year. WTF. Isn't just some harmless trivia you scroll past on Instagram. This is the unapologetic truth about how Japan lives, breathes, and outright dominates the art of partying. So shut your scrolling finger down and listen carefully because you're about to get hit with some real talk. 300,000 festivals a year. You heard me right. 300,000. That's more parties than your entire college threw in 4 years. And probably more than every party you've ever attended combined. Yeah, that's right, Japan doesn't do chill weekends or Netflix and no chill. They're out there every damn day throwing festivals like confetti at a parade. Flower festivals, lantern festivals, firework festivals, dance festivals, you name it, they've got it. Some of these things are ancient, going back over 1,000 years. Like, people have been showing up to these wild shindigs for centuries, probably drinking sake and wondering how in the hell you still can't hold your liquor at 25. Meanwhile, you're at home scrolling TikTok, feeling like a social failure because your Friday night plans are maybe watch a documentary. But here's the kicker, not every festival is some grand cultural masterpiece. Some are just elaborate excuses to get drunk on sake, slap on some wild outfits, and act like a lunatic with zero judgment. And you know what? That's the damn point. While you're busy worrying about being too old to party, Japan is reminding the world that the best way to live is by throwing your hands in the air and saying, "Hell yeah, let's get wild." Look, you want a lesson in how to live life with a bit of reckless joy? Take notes from Japan. They don't hide behind responsibility or adulting. Nope. They say, "We're going to throw so many festivals you'll need a calendar just to keep track." And if that sounds chaotic, good. It should be. You ever wonder why Japanese people seem so alive? It's because they literally have no excuse not to celebrate. While you're making sad excuses about too tired or too busy, Japan's out here living their best life with a goddamn lantern in one hand and a sake cup in the other. So if you want me to spill the juiciest, craziest, most mind-blowing festival stories Japan has to offer, the kind of wild you never saw coming, drop a 13 in the comments. I promise, it's going to be a hell of a ride. Because honestly, if you're not celebrating life like Japan, you're just surviving it. And that's boring as hell. Strap in because number 14, Japanese cuisine, elegant and unhinged, is about to blow your delicate little foodie mind. And I'm here to say the damn truth no one else is brave enough to say out loud. You think sushi and tempura are the pinnacle of Japanese food? Cute. Adorable, even. But Japan didn't just stop at safe, refined, and pretty. Nope. They went full-on wild, unhinged, and yes, sometimes downright disgusting. And I love them for it. Look, sushi is elegant. Tempura's crispy perfection deserves a damn standing ovation. But come on, who's seriously just gonna stop there? Japan took their cuisine and said, "Hold my sake," then handed you raw horse meat on a plate like it's your lunch special. Raw horse meat. And if that doesn't make you spit out your soy sauce, maybe beer-flavored ice cream will. Yes, you heard that right. Beer-flavored ice cream. The kind of thing that either hooks you like a freak or traumatizes your taste buds for life. And it gets crazier. Tokyo has a shop, a whole shop, with over 100 ice cream flavors. 100. And they're not talking about vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry, folks. We're talking wasabi, garlic, and ramen. Ramen-flavored ice cream. If your brain isn't screaming in confusion and awe right now, I don't know what will. Imagine walking into that shop, seeing this bizarre carnival of flavors, and thinking, I'll just have a scoop of normal. No such luck. One scoop in, and your life changes forever. Either you're hooked, running back for more, or you're traumatized, never looking at ice cream the same way again. There's no in-between. It's like a roller coaster for your tongue where every bite is a gamble. You know what's hilarious? We go nuts over a fancy avocado toast. But this is real creativity. And it's unapologetically weird in the best possible way. It's like Japan looked at food and said, why not make it an adventure? Why not make people question their entire existence with a scoop of squid ink soft serve? And honestly, that's exactly the kind of madness I want in my life. So if you're the type who's too scared to stray from your boring-ass burger and fries, maybe it's time to wake the hell up. Because Japanese cuisine isn't just about looking pretty on Instagram. It's about daring to be different, to shock, to confuse, and maybe, just maybe, to find the wildest flavor of your life. Comment 14 if you're brave enough to try the weirdest ice cream flavors Japan throws at you, or if you just want to hear about the time I nearly lost my mind over beer-flavored gelato. This is not a drill. This is culinary chaos at its finest. And you're invited. Hell yes, lock in because number 15, cost of living, pricey, but premium is about to smash your delicate illusions about Tokyo's affordable lifestyle, and I'm here to give you the brutally honest truth, the kind of truth you're scared to admit out loud. First off, Tokyo rent ain't a joke. Up to $2,500 a month for a shoebox apartment that probably doubles as your kitchen, bedroom, and personal panic room. You think you're getting a deal? Nope. That price tag is pure urban survival tax. Pay it, or get lost. But here's the kicker, food? Surprisingly affordable. I'm talking about eating like a damn king for under 10 bucks. Sushi, ramen, tempura, all within reach. And not some sad desk lunch, either, legit mouth-watering meals that slap harder than your college ramen noodles. Now, internet speed? Blink and you miss it. While you're buffering in your suburban cave, Tokyo is zooming ahead with fiber optic lightning fast enough to stream your favorite shows without a single hiccup. Transport? Efficient doesn't even begin to cover it. Trains arrive like clockwork. None of this where's my ride nonsense. Public services actually work. Yeah, I said it. You pay premium prices, but Japan actually delivers premium quality. No scams, no excuses, no we'll fix it later. You want value for your money? This is it. But don't get cozy just yet. That price tag will slap you back to reality faster than a cold soba noodle slapped across your face. $2,500 rent isn't some fantasy. It's real, and it's steep. You better have your hustle game strong because Tokyo doesn't reward the lazy or the broke. But damn, when it works, it really works. So drop a 15 in the comments if you'd survive Tokyo's price game or if you think it's just too damn high. And stick around, because next up, we're diving into some wild Japanese lifestyles that will blow your mind and maybe your budget too. Japan isn't just a damn country. It's a walking contradiction wrapped in neon lights and ancient scrolls, a fever dream where the future and the past are stuck in some insane never-ending dance. You've got polite robots bowing like they just landed from outer space, while volcanoes silently threaten to blow your entire existence to smithereens. Raw horse meat ice cream? Yeah, that's a thing. And people shaving their heads in tears because they got caught dating? You better believe it. If this video didn't make you stop scrolling, blink twice, and seriously question your own boring-ass culture, then congratulations, you were asleep the whole time. You're missing out on a wild, beautiful mess of a place that somehow manages to be both unhinged and elegant, strict and playful, terrifying and comforting all at once. So do yourself a favor, hit like, share this madness with someone who needs to wake up, and subscribe before Japan decides to send a geisha to haunt your dreams. And trust me, you don't want that. Peace out.